Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to 2D6 Dungeon. 2D6 Dungeon was created by Toby Lancaster. His link is in the description. We're going to continue on here on level 6. Our character level is 7. We've already been back to town once and I didn't pick up anything to heal myself with, so it should be interesting. Where we left off at was in this bloodied room, and we chose to not get bloodied ourselves by adding to the paint job. We do have a door over here to go through, and we shall check that. It was a wooden door. See if it's locked. If it's a 6, it's locked. If it's not, then it's unlocked. It's a locked door. Let's see how strong that lock is. It is kind of a weak lock with only a 3, which we're capable of opening that with our eyes closed practically. We will use one of our lockpick +1s just to say that we used it and unlock that door. Even with a +1 lockpick, there's no way we would not be able to beat a lock of 3. So I'm not even gonna roll it. Door is unlocked. It's time to open it. And we enter into a room here. This is a drying room. Hanging here are at least 30 animal hides. Blood covers the floor. They are too wet and heavy to take. You find a workbench upon which is a sharp knife and a bowl of water with a cloth. And we roll on our interrupts table here. There are 2 practice batons here. One is snapped and you grasp it. As you do so, you receive a vision and see 2 people sparring. At Brawler Quest, for the next Vudolin Brawler you face, roll a d6. 1 to 4, you kick them hard in the leg where your vision showed they were injured, causing 2d6 damage. I do believe that the Crest Quest is unfinishable now. We've passed any chances of fighting a Heatless anymore, as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna take that one off and replace it with this new quest. The room has 2 doors. Here, one there. This one probably leading to a little dead end there, but we'll fill it in. Let's go with that one first. Let's check it for being locked. Is unlocked. Open this door up. Step inside. It is a little dead-end room. Against the wall here is a stretched bear hide that appears worn. If you touch it and have 4 or more Grakita favor points, gain 4 HP. Don't know what OTUMRA stand for, but we are full health at the moment, so that's okay. And Grakita only has 2 favor points at the moment, so we won't be able to gain that anyway. We'll leave the bear hide alone and head over to the other door and check to see if that one's locked. It is unlocked as well. Door. We have a very short 1x2 hallway. If he's choosing to go this way. Enter in through this archway. We enter into the sand room. The floor of this space is completely covered in sand. There are broken sticks scattered around. Some sand is stained with blood. Make a successful precision check of 8. 1 attempt to avoid being bloodied. No blood's getting on us in this room. We pass through here, enter this archway. We have some suspended ropes. The sand continues. Above hang some thick ropes. You can reach one and see above it a tied up bag. If you climb, roll a d6. 1 to 3, the bag bursts, covering you in blood. Take 4 bloodied boxes. On a 4 to 6, roll see what's in the bag. I'm kind of curious what's in the bag. So let's go over here and climb a rope and see what's in the bag. What would be tied up there? Hopefully not blood. We put our body weight on the rope to pull ourselves up, and as soon as we do, the bag just erupts and splatters blood all over us. And blood did we get? 4 ticks. We step out of there, kind of brushing some of the blood off of us as we go. This room has one exit that's a curtain covering. Step on into here. And what we have is a giant gong. There is a huge brass gong here, and 2 people are busy polishing it. They see you, shout, and attack. You must fight a Shadow Blade and a Udelian Brawler. You survive, roll on chess table 3 + 2 and rune 2. Now we just got the quest for the Brawler, so we'll pick on him first for the fight. But before the fight starts, we do take another ping on our bloodied. A Udelian Brawler. The Infernal Order bribes wrestlers and fighters with the promise of power and then use magic from the faculty orbit to sculpt these beings into muscular thugs who serve to guard their sanctum. Maneuvers, he's had the Slam and Mighty Blow, both of which are blocked by our metal bracer, although the Mighty Blow is also blocked by our leather breastplate, which would be a better blocking for that one. So the Mighty Blow would just be a D3 damage, and the Slam would be a D6 + 1. And for interrupts, he's got the forearm block, primary 2s and 3s, which would affect our swooping spin, and then a leather strap on secondary 4s and 6s, which would affect our heavy slash. Shadow Blade. Some thieves and brigands are chosen by the Infernal Order and are trained to draw upon the faculty orbit. They use this magic to hone their dexterous skills and serve as spies and assassins. For maneuvers, they got Dagger Stab, D6 - 1, Cartwheel Kick, D3 + 1, but our breastplate blocks them both, so the Dagger Stab would be a D6 - 5, Cartwheel Kick would be a D3 - 3. For interrupts, they have the Dodge Backwards on primary 1s and 6s, which would affect our heavy slash. So on the heavy slash attack, we would suffer a -2 to our damage roll, so it would just be a D6 + 1, and then the Shadow Blade lashes out as they dodge back and catches you, causing you 1 point of damage as well. So that's definitely something we're going to avoid. Up around 1 our turn, we're taking on the Udelian Brawler first, and we're going to try that kick the leg attempt there. So we'll roll D6 and see if we get a 1 or 4. 1 to 4, and we do. He's going to take off 6 points of damage to start with, and we can take that quest out of here. That brings him to 29 health. Now that was our quest attack. I don't think that actually counts as a round of combat. Kind of like a thrown weapon. We did it to complete the quest first, and now we start combat. So now it's actually top of round 1. Get a 1-2 on our roll. With 3 shifts, we can turn that 1 into a 3 to create a swooping spin, which the forearm block will take 2 points off of this. So it's a D6 + 2, 3 points of damage. Bringing him to 26 health. Switch over to the Brawler's turn here for round 1. Brawler's got a 1-2 with 2 shifts. He can turn that 1-2 into a slam. Turn that 1 into a 2, and then 2 into a 3. That was D6 + 1. 4. 5 points of damage. Bringing us to 65 health. Shadow Blade's turn for round 1. We got a 3-1. One shift can take that 3 to a 4, which becomes a dagger stab, or a d6 minus 5. So if it's not a 6, it's not going to hit us. 0 points of damage. Top round 2, our turn. Again, striking the Valor. That is a 4-1. 3 shifts, we can take that 4-1 and turn it into a lunging thrust. Making that 5 and it's a 3. And that is not blocked by anything. So d6 plus 5. 8 points of damage. Bringing him to 18 health. Brawler's turn for round 2. With a 6-4, only 2 shifts. 6-4 with only 2 shifts, we can do nothing. Over to Shadow Blade's turn. You're gonna get a 4-6. Only 1 shift. 4-6 is not gonna be a hit either. Top of round 3, our turn. Now with a 1-5 and 3 shifts, we can. Nothing for us for a 1-5 and 3 shifts. On to the Brawler's turn. 6-3, 2 shifts. We're not doing anything with a 6-3 and 2 shifts. Over to the Shadow Blade's turn. Round 3. That's a 1-4. We were reversed. That was a 4-1. Be good. But with a 1-4 and only 1 shift, we are not hitting anything for round 3. Top of round 4, our turn. Swinging at the Brawler again. With a 3-6, and we're up to 4 shifts now. I just realized I was going to do something and I forgot it already. We got our runes. We've been hit a few times and I should have been healing. And we did 5 or more points of damage to the Brawler, so we should have destroyed. Well, I forgot them and I wasn't keeping track of exactly how much damage I was doing and how many times I've been hit. So I think I've gotten like 2 hit points back. Moving forward, we will remember our runes. 3, 6, and 4 shifts. We can do something, I think. No, we're 1 shift short of doing things with a 3-6. So over to the Brawler's turn. 6-5. With 3 shifts and a 6-5, he is out of range of his maneuvers. To the Shadow Blade for round 4. Oh, 6-6. Prime attack roll for the Shadow Blade. They punch you and a blade shoots from their wrist unexpectedly. Hitting you deep, they lose D3 plus 2 hit points. 5 points of damage. That'll bring us to 60, but then the rune will bring us back up to 61. For round 5, our turn. With a 4, 3, and 5 shifts now, we can use 1 shift to create a lunging thrust. 10 points of damage to him. Bringing him down to 8 health. Obviously, he's been cursed with the Shroud, meaning we can actually switch our primary and second die around, which wouldn't really help us for him. We're kind of maxing out. Brawler's turn for round 5. With a 1-5, 4 shifts, he can use 2 shifts to turn that 5 into a 3, 1 shift to turn that 1 into a 2, creating a slam for d6 plus 1 damage. 6 points of damage to us. That brings us to 55 health, but our aura brings us back up to 56. Over to the Shadow Blade for round 5. Dropping dice. 6, 5, and 3 shifts. You can use 2 shifts to create a cartwheel kick, which is a D3 minus 3. So that wouldn't actually hit us. It wouldn't do any damage, even though I believe the maxed out if you roll. I know if you roll a 6 on a damage die, it's guaranteed to be 1 point no matter how many interrupts you have. So I think if I did roll a 3, it would still count as 1 damage, and I did not. That is a 2. 0 points of damage to us. And we heal 1 point. Or Cake healed us rather than damaging us. Top round 6, our turn. Striking at the Brawler. A 6-5. 1 shift will get us to a heavy slash, but we have enough shifts to make a lunging thrust. So that's what we're going to do. So lunging thrust will deal more damage. And that is 10 points of damage to him. Bringing him to 0 and dead. That's not flat on its back. Shadowblade's turn for round 6. With a 5-5 and 4 shifts. They can't make a dagger stab, but they can make a cartwheel kick, but that will heal us for 1 if they don't max damage it. It is a 3, so we would take 1 point of damage and heal 1 point of damage. Would just bring us to 56, and then the aura would bring us right back up to D7. Her cartwheel kick does not do anything helpful. On to round 7. Her dodge backwards is going to stop functioning now. After round, it's our turn. Bring it at the Shadowblade. It's a 3-5. You can use 3 shifts to create a swooping spin. A D6 plus 4. 9 points of damage. Bringing her down to 3 health right off the bat. And now they are cursed with the Shroud. Shadowblade's turn for round 7. 5-1. 1 shift. Turn that into a dagger stab, which we were already blocking with the breastplate, so shifting, switching our dice isn't going to help anything. So a D6 minus 5, 0 points of damage. And again, we heal, bringing us to 58 health. Round 8, our turn. We have a 6-5, and the same with the Brawler last round. We're going to switch to a lunging thrust. A D6 plus 5, 6 points of damage. Bringing her to 0 and dead. Also laying on her side. Both the Brawler and the Shadowblade have treasure on the pouch table number 2. Brawler is a plus 2. And that's 9. Wrapped in a piece of cloth inside are some Malacco leaves and Illos petals. Which we don't have any Illos petals at the moment. We have a pile of Malacco leaves. I think with the Illos petals we're able to make something. We'll take a look at that after we're done getting all of our loot. We also get 2d6 gold pieces. That's 6, evening us out to 600 gold pieces. We also have experience from him. Add them together in a moment. 450 XP. The Shadowblade's pouch is 4. Nothing in the pouch. The pouch is empty, but we also get 2d6 gold pieces. So maybe that's in the pouch. That's 6 gold pieces for us. Bringing us to 606 gold pieces. And 95 health, 95 XP from her. Brings us up to 8,456 XP. Now we have a chance to check this chest over here. The chest table. And rune 2. Chest table plus 2 is a 12. Lying at the bottom is a beautiful throwing axe plus 3. It has Yip's rune engraved on it. And Yip's rune is a returning rune. When engraved on a throwing weapon, it returns to the adventurer's hand if it causes damage on the attack, and can be thrown again in the same combat, giving 1 extra attack. You can only do this once per combat. Put that there, and in the notes we'll add kind of think the axes should take up 2 spots. I have like multiples of knives. Having 7 throwing knives is probably a bit overkill. Anyway, there's the throwing axe with Yip on it, and Yip's returning rune marked in our notes. And then we also get a new rune for our sword that we'll get to put on next time we visit. And that is a 12. I don't know. We just throw a 1d6. Red is primary die, so we'll use the 6 off of that, which is a Pote's Rebound rune. So we'll put that in the, just like we did before, we'll put it in the heavy items list to show that we have a rune to install or sell. We'll probably sell that one off. I tend to forget about throwing weapons a lot. We already have a dagger with Potes on it, and now we have a nice axe with a rebound rune, which we'll probably use more often, so we'll sell that one. This room also has a curtain for an exit. Pushing the curtain aside, we step on through, enter into a room that is a shifting statue. The air is thick with an earthy smell. You see a statue that is warping from one creature to the next. Roll a d6. It settles as a 1 or 2, an Undertroll, 3 or 4, an Ophilit, 5 or 6, a Zordian Shade, and you must fight it. Oh, that's wonderful. Zordian Shades are possessed corpses of a species of extinct lion, gorged by primordial magic. They hate humans and seek revenge for the persecution they suffered in life. It roars. For maneuvers, it has Claws Slash, D6 plus 2. Gas Roar is a D3 damage plus special attack. Next combat round, minus 1 shift. The Clawed Slash is a 5/3, so our metal bracers help deflect that, making that just a D6 damage. And the Gas Roar is a 6/4, and our leather breastplate will help with that, making it D3 minus 4. So no damage, but we do suffer a shift potential. For interrupts, it has the Agile Leap on primary 1s, 2s, and 6s, which would affect our Heavy Slash, and the Muscular Frame on secondary 1s and 2s, which would affect our Swooping Spin. Top of round 1, our turn. Starting off with a 1/3, 3 shifts, we can create a Swooping Spin with that. Switch it to a 3/2, which will be a D6 plus 2, off with 8 damage. And I almost did it again. The runes, 8 points of damage means that the Shroud's Curse descends on the Zordian Shade and brings him to 42 health. Our metal bracers and bandage shield are both doing a -2, so with the curse we would be able to use either one for the Clawed Slash, so that won't really make a difference. And then the Gas Roar is covered by the leather breastplate, so we're not going to change that one. So kind of the curse so far has not helped us. Zordian Shade's turn for round 1. 5/4, 2 shifts, we can switch to a Gas Roar, and a 3 with our -4 onto it. It is the max that dice can roll though, so 1 point of damage. And our healing aura would just heal that 1 point right back, so we're staying at 58 health. We do suffer the -1 shift for next round though. Round 2, our turn. 5/2. We are only having 2 shifts this time, but with 5/2 we only need 1 shift to create a lunging thrust, and a lunging thrust is not blocked by any of his interrupts. 9 points of damage. Bringing him to 33 health. Shade's turn for round 2. 5/3 with a 5/3 and 2 shift. We don't need any 2 shifts. 5/3 is a Clawed Slash, which will be a straight D6 roll here. 1 point of damage. That we immediately heal, so we stay at 58 health. Top of round 3, our turn. with a 3-4, and we are back up to our full shift usage 3. With a 3-4, we can use all 3 shifts, 2 shifts from 3 to 5, and 1 shift from 4 to 3 to create a lunging thrust. D6 plus 5, 10 points of damage. Bringing him down to 23 health. Zordian Shade Churn for round 3. 3-1, 2 shifts. No maneuvers can be made off of a 3-1 and 2 shifts for the Shade. Round 4 our turn. 1 extra shift. 4 shifts total is 6-4, which is an exact heavy slash. That would be -1 from the Agile Leap, but also a +4 from the shifts, bringing us to a D6 plus 6. 9 points of damage. Bringing the Shade to 14 health. Zordian Shade's Churn for round 4. A 3-4 with 3 shifts. We can do a gas roar. 3 shifts to make that a 6. Although it won't do any damage, it does take our shift down 1, which I think is better than the claws. So 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage that we immediately heal, but we suffer a -1 to our shift next round. Top of round 5, our turn. And we are still at +4 shifts. We don't get the extra round. 2-2 with 4 shifts. 2-2 can be made into a lunging thrust. 3 shifts to go from 2 to 5, and 1 shift 2 to 3. 7 points of damage. Bringing the Shade down to 7 health. Zordian Shade's Churn for round 5. With a 2-1 and 4 shifts. 2-1 and 4 shifts do not make any maneuvers. Top around 6 our turn. We're up to 6 shifts. With a 5-3. With a 5-1. We only need 2 shifts to create a lunging thrust. There. 5-3. 11 points of damage. Bringing him to 0 health and dead. Now he's got stuff from both tables. So bag table 1 plus 3. Bag table 2 plus 3. First one, 7. At the bottom of the bag, carefully wrapped in leather, is some cheese. Gain 1 ration. Brings us to 5 rations. And the other table, also a 7. At the bottom of the sack is a set of shackles, a metal box containing 2d6 plus 10 silver, and some Malacco leaves. Let's see, silver, 20 silver pieces. Nice. Let's see, do we want to save any of that? I don't really feel like carrying the metal box around. Let's put the coins into our coin box. Ouch. And could think of uses for shackles. Most of our enemies we just kill. So I haven't really had any surrender. We'll just take some Malacco leaves and leave the shackles behind. Speaking of Malacco leaves, let's see. Oh, before let's see, we have 300 experience from the Shade here. That will bring us to 8,756. So we were going to take a look at what we can do with Los Petals. Healing Balm, Health Paste, Drying Powder, and Smoke Screen. So let's see what else we can do. What's the 2 ingredients? Malacco leaves and healing. Yellows will make the Healing Balm. Zumarus leaves, Scarlet Ortavis, and Illos Petals will make the Health Paste. I think we have all of that. Yes, we do. So let's make some Health Paste. Do we have something to put that in? We need a solid container. We do have we do have 2 empty vials. So let's use one of those to create the health paste. So we will consume 1 Scarlet Ortavis, the Illos Petals, and 1 Zoomer's Leaves, and 1 of our empty vials to create 1 vial of health paste. And by doing so, you gain 5 experience per adventurer level. So that'd be 35 experience added on to our current experience, brings us to 8,791. With nothing else in the room, we'll step on over to the archway. Step on through the archway here into this room. And what we have is a right chamber. There are 2 tables here. On one there are 2 material sashes and a wooden cup full of red wine. 2 gray anchorites are preparing the space. You must fight them both. If you survive, roll on RATT1 table, which I believe is a religious artifact table, something like that. We'll find out shortly. It's been quite a while since we've fought a gray anchorite. We have seen them before. Although gray anchorites do many of the chores in the infernal levels, they are also aspirational and have a wild fever. They lack the talent to progress and will often remain in the gray. The maneuvers are Bright Flash and Quick Punch. Bright Flash, we have 3-2, which is affected by our metal bracers. So that would be a D3 -2. And the Quick Punch is affected by the breastplate. So that'd be a D3 -3. We can almost just mow these guys over without even combat. There's a little bit of a chance for them to hit us, but we're just going to heal everything that they do to us. It does say that if your armor completely cancels out the foe's attack damage so that your enemy cannot harm you, then there's no need to roll for combat. You are too powerful for them and you instantly kill them. I'm kind of thinking, I mean, the Quick Punch is a D3 -3, and the Bright Flash is a D3 -2. So that we don't fully cancel it out, but we have the healing aura rune. So even when they do cause 1 point of damage, we instantly heal it. So they're not actually hurting us. Even though there's 2 of them, I feel that we are too powerful for them. Rather than go through 8 rounds of combat to kill them, we just take the too powerful rule here, apply it. I'm going to make a note about their XP, but I don't think I should get XP for that. I mean, they're just dead. They turn to fight, I'm gonna kill them, you know? I can get their treasure, but I don't think I deserve the XP, which would be 120 points. Being that there's 2 of them, we get 2 religious pouches. First pouch is an 11. Inside the pouch is a small glass bottle containing a potion of shield aura and 3d6 plus 20 gold pieces. 31 gold pieces, bringing us up to 637 gold. And potion of shield aura. Now I think it was on this page. We already have one of those. Could drink one of the other ones that lasts for the rest of the level. We can get a second shield aura. The shield aura is only for 1 round of combat. Probably actually use them sometime. We're gonna drink the potion of consistency and then replace our potion of consistency with a second shield aura potion. And then we shall activate that, and that will last the rest of this floor, this level of the dungeon. So our second anchorite's religious pouch, 6. Inside the pouch is a ball of thread and needle. I suppose we can take ball of thread and needle and figure out something to do with that eventually. The RATT1 is a religious artifacts treasure table. Let's see what we got. 5. You find a religious manuscript that has seen better days. There's also a lockpick +1 for uses. Let's Add 3 lockpick +1s, bringing us to 5 of them. Right, this room does have an archway. Step on over here. Pass through the archway. Enter into a room. This is a learning hall. 6 lecterns here. On each is an open book. You do not understand the language. If you read on, roll a d6 and add your discipline. And a 6 or higher, you find a scroll. And sure, we got 6 books to look at. Let's see what we got. Discipline. We have an extra +1 for the potion we just drank, so it is a +5. So we're finding a scroll. Can't really get a 6 or lower. So let's find out what scroll we got. On the scrolls table here, we have a scroll of searching health. Now I know my scroll list has 1 spot open, but I do have 2 mental whips, so that's why there's 1 spot open. I actually have 3 scrolls, so I can't carry another one. So let's see what searching health does. The searching health, you watch as your wounds close and heal, and renewed vigor surges through you. It's instant. It does have a dispel die, -1 on fail, +20 health points. It does not. So with potions, it will say that it can exceed baseline level, but the scroll here does not say that. I think if I use that, I'm just going to be back to max health, not anything extra. You can leave a comment, let me know if that's wrong, and I can go past my max. And this room has 2 exits to it, and we're going to choose to go this way. Passing through that archway. We enter into a scholar's study. This space is full of desks and bookcases. There are scrolls, quills, and lit candles everywhere. A robed scholar rises from the desk in outrage. Use Mordial Axiom stats. If you survive, roll on scroll table number 4. There is one other exit here. Mordial Axiom scholar. We've fought a few times. Gonna be too much of a trouble by himself. So let's start combat. Round 1 and our turn. Here we go. We're starting with a 3-1. 3 shifts with 3-1. We can change that 1 into a 2 and leave the 3 there to make a swooping spin. And our swooping spin is affected by his fire screen. No. Our swooping spin is not affected by anything. So we get a d6 +4. 7 points of damage. Bringing him 43 health. Scholar's turn here with a 1-3. 2 shift. 1-3 is not shiftable into a maneuver. Therefore he misses. Round 2, our turn. We're coming in with a 4-4. 3 shifts. A 4-4 can also be drifted into a swooping spin. 3-2. 8 points of damage. Bringing him down to 35 health. Scholar's turn for round 2. Swinging with a 1-2 and only 2 shifts, so again, no strike from the scholar. Warming up his muscles after studying for too long. Top of round 3, our turn here. With a 3-3, and that is 1 shift away from a swooping spin. 9 points of damage. Bringing him down to 26 health. Scholar's turn for round 3 here. 5-2. 5-2 with 2 shifts can be turned into a meteor hail. 1 shift for a 6 and 1 shift for a 2. Meteor hail is affected by our leather breastplate, so it is a d6 -1. 3 points of damage. He says 67, then we heal one of those back. 68 health. Top of round 4, our turn. Okay. 4-2. That is one shift away from a swooping spin. There we have it. And 8 more points of damage. Bringing him to 18 health. Scholar's turn for round 4. The 4-4. 3 shifts, 4-4. We can shift into a firestorm. Now we have hit him for more than 5 points of damage in one hit, so we can flip our breastplate to cover the firestorm, making it just a straight D3 roll. 1 point of damage. That 1 point of damage is instantly healed by our healing aura. So for round 5, our turn here. And 2-3. Plenty of shifts to reverse those numbers to be a 3-2. Making a swooping spin. And 5 points of damage. Bringing him down to 13 health. Mordial Axiom Scholar's turn for round 5. With a 6-1, that is a meteor hail with no shifts needed. Again with a D6 minus 1. 1 point of damage. That we instantly heal back. Here we are, top of round 6. Our turn with a 5-2 and 2 shifts to make that into a swooping spin. 6 points of damage. Bringing it down to 7 health. Scholar's turn for round 6. And a 1-3. 5 shifts, 1-3. And we need 6 for that. And 7 for that. So no, 1-3 and 5 shifts. We cannot create a maneuver. Round 7, our turn. 2-4. 2-4 with 6 shifts, we can turn that into a swooping spin because we like swooping spins. That is 7 points of damage. Bringing him down to 0 and dead. With 650 experience points added on, we go to, let's see that for a second. We're gonna move on to 9,441 experience. Probably got to resize that pretty soon. The Scholar's got a religious pouch on them. And that is a 5. Wrapped in some hemp is a wax seal showing a man in a robe. Not really sure what I can do with a wax seal showing a man in a robe. I suppose we can keep it. Figure out something for it, maybe. Fit it in there. As man robe wax seal. Totally makes sense to me. Searching around the room, we get to find another scroll here. And that is a scroll of invisibility. The scroll of invisibility is nice. You avoid one combat and the contents of a room, so you can kind of skip a whole room if you wanted. Kind of don't want to skip a room. I also don't want to leave it behind because we could sell that for 21 gold pieces. We do have the scroll of balance. We could use that scroll, get an additional +1 discipline for the rest of this level, pocket the invisibility scroll. I'm thinking that's a good idea. Let's throw a scroll of balance on us. That way there's less confusion. We'll split those up instead of having ×2 on there. We have the invisibility scroll in our inventory. Extra discipline scroll there. Active scroll. I don't have an icon for it. That's fine. Let's take a look here. Got about roughly half of the dungeon filled in this level. Some eventful stuff here. We are kind of at a circle back point. So let's see what that room is. Alright, we're going to step on through this archway and into a room here. The one more room curse has taken us. What we have is a black portal. A massive circle of swirling black cloud hangs in the center of the room. Beneath it is a pool of blood. As you enter, you feel a rush of cold air and a large red summoned Flayer appears. You must fight. There's wooden doors. The archways are here from the already made rooms that we were already in, so I didn't fill them up. The 40% I think is supposed to be next to the yes, meaning that we have to have 40% of the dungeon floor done before we see this room, which we do from what we just zoomed out a moment ago and saw. We're about halfway through, so we will do this fight. The Summon Flayer. Rituals carried out by the Infernal Order can result in summoning swirling clouds of primordial magic. Over time, these grow and seethe until from within this dark portal, a Flayer might emerge. For maneuvers, they have a Tentacle Lash and Savage Bite. The Tentacle Lash is a 2/2, which is not blocked by any of our armor, so it's a full 2d6 painful damage. The Savage Bite is a 5/5, so that is blocked by our Banded Shield, bringing that to a d3 plus 3. For interrupts, they have Scaly Hide on primary 3s, 4s, and 6s, -3, which will affect our Swooping Spin, and Heavy Slash. And the Wiry Body on secondary 1, 2s, and 3s, -2. That will hit our Lunging Thrust and would also hit our Swooping Spin, but we're only taken down by one or the other. We'll take the higher reduction, the primary 3. Top around 1 our turn. We got 5/3. 5/3 is an exact Lunging Thrust, but we get to add our 3 shifts onto that. We'll take the -2 from the Wiry Body. So in total, we will have a d6 plus 6. 8 points of damage. We have down 47 health. Player's turn for round 1. We have a 3/5, 2 shifts. We can turn that 3 into a 5 to make a Savage Bite. D3 plus 3 from our Banded Shield. That is a 5 points of damage. We heal one of those, so that would be down to 63 plus 1 to 64. Top of round 2, and the Flayer is cursed from our rune, but we don't really have any armor to flip, make a difference. So we'll just attack and keep going. With a 1/6, 3 shifts. There's nothing we can do with a 1/6, 3 shifts. Player's turn for round 2. With a 5/3 and 2 shifts, we can do another Savage Bite. 6 points of damage. Meaning after our heal, we only take 5, bringing us to 59 health. Round 3 our turn here. Go ahead and swing at the Flayer. Starting off with a 3/3 there, and 3 shifts we can do a Lunging Thrust very easily. 2 shifts for that, and Lunging Thrust will be reduced by 2, making it a d6 plus 3. Wiry Body, get 1 points of damage. Bringing him down to 40 health. Player's turn for round 3. Taking out with a 6/1 and 2 shifts. 6/1 will not be shifted into a maneuver. Top of round 4 our turn. Away with the 3/3 again. We'll do the same thing as last round. Shift that into a 5 for a Lunging Thrust. And do another d6 plus 2. Another 7 points of damage. It's like a... Bring him down to 33 health. Player's turn for round 4. Bringing out with his tentacles, getting a 3-6 and 3 shifts. We can shift this down to a 5 shift and this up to a 5 with 2 shifts, making for a Savage Bite. Savage Bite will be a D3 plus 3 due to our Bandit Shield, 4 points of damage. Bring us to 55 health, and then we heal back 1, 56. Chop around 5 our turn. With a 3-6 and 5 shifts, we can make another lunging thrust. 2 shifts there, and 3 shifts here. 7 points of damage again. Bring him down to 26 health, which just brings him past half health. Flayer's turn, around 5. We have a 3-3. We can easily use 2 shifts to create a Tentacle Lash. You don't have any defenses for 36. 7 points of damage. Bring us to 49 health, and then we heal back 1 of those points. Stop around 6 our turn. Up to 6 shifts now. With a 4-4, we can do another lunging thrust with 4-4. 1 shift there, 1 shift there. 5 points of damage this time. Bringing him down to 21 health. Flayer's turn for round 6. We have a 6-1 and 5 shifts. There's 1 shift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make another Tentacle Lash. 9 points of damage. Bringing us to 41 health, which we healed back to 42. On round 7, our turn. With a 4-1. 4-1, we can go over to 5 and 3 to create another lunging thrust. And we get 7 points of damage. Bringing him down to 14 health. Player's turn for round 7. We have a 5-2, 5 shifts. We can turn that 5 into a 2 to create another Tentacle Lash. 10 points of damage this time. Brings us down to 32, plus 1 for healing, 33 total. 8 our turn. 5-2, that's only 1 shift away from a lunging thrust. 7 more points of damage. Bringing him down to 7 health. Player's turn for round 8. And a 1-2 that can be shifted into a 2-2 Tentacle Lash. 6 points of damage. Brings us 27 health. We heal back 1 point to 28. Chop around 9 our turn. 2-6. Precisely what we need there. We have 6 shifts. With a 2-6 we can use 3 shifts to make a 5 and 3 shifts to make a 3 or a lunging thrust. 7 more points of damage. Dice are consistent. Bringing him down to 0 and dead. We're going to get 900 experience points. Brings us up to 10,341 experience, which is enough to make level 8. Before we do our leveling up, we'll collect resources here. The Summon Flayer has 2 high quality rubies that we can pull out of its temple. Let's put those on our sheet. Let's put the Flayer away now. Crap. Yeah, the room didn't have anything else in it, so we don't need that. We are going to level from 7 to 8. So for that we go, let's increase this 5,000 for only 15,000 XP for level 9, and our discipline will increase by 1. We have the Ring of Telekinesis on, which has given us a boost already. And our health, we gain 10 points. We instantly gain 10 hit points, and our max goes up by 10 hit points. We are also able to access level 3 maneuvers, so we can take a look at that. And we can swap out one maneuver or another when we level up. So we'll take a look at the level 3 maneuvers and decide which one we should switch over to. We did just make the healing paste, though I kind of want to use those. So we made that, had 3 uses. We're gonna use one of those. That health paste gives us 10 HP, brings us back to 48 health. So we're doing all right. Let's take a look at those maneuvers. We're leaving level 1 maneuvers off the list because there's no reason. Let's see, what can we replace? Because our balance rune was for heavy slash. It increased the damage from heavy slash by 1. So even though it's still a level 1 maneuver, probably gonna hold on to that a little longer. Although the fierce strike replaces it, uses the same dice. It is so much better. So let's drop that. I need to find out the balance rune, if we're able to change which maneuver it's applied to, or if by getting rid of the maneuver it goes away. Let's find out what it says. The Kirby's balance rune adds 1 damage to 1 maneuver. This is transferable if that maneuver is ever swapped out. So we are going to get rid of heavy slash and replace it with fierce strike and apply the balance rune to it, giving us a 2d6 plus 10 maneuver. We've been loving our lunging thrust and swooping spin, but I think both of those are going to go away with our next 2 level ups. These level 3 maneuvers are big. We get High Grab, Savage Glance, and Thunderous Blow. Twisting Stab. Twisting Stab might be better. A little bit easier to hit. Yep. Okay, so we are here in our dungeon. Big old pillar of smoke because that was the only model I had. Could go back this way. I think what we're going to do is circle around to here. And we'll move on that way our next episode. We are about halfway through the floor. So thank you for staying till the end. I hope you enjoyed this level. I do have an announcement. Once the dungeon is done, once we make it to level 10 and become a legend, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from 2d6 dungeon. I'm in the process of learning what I just purchased a couple days ago. That is 2d6 realms. So once we become a legend, I will start kind of a season 2 in the realm with Trebet here and see where we can go with that. I gotta learn how that system works. I mean, it's similar, but I gotta learn the rule system, how the play cycle works, and then work out how I'm going to record it. So we're not gonna rush into starting overland travels. We're gonna continue on with the dungeon first and then move into the realms after a short break. We have plenty to go. We're on level 6. I'm gonna try and keep the floor size to something that can be recorded in 3 or 4 episodes. So many more videos to come. So again, thank you, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.